gather around, everybody. I would love to tell you a story. And Smokey Bear has gathered around. So we'll see how this goes because he's already freaking out because I'm sitting on the ground with him. But I would like to tell you a story today of a young little seminary student that was questioning life and other areas. But oh look, there's the cat. Look at this. I knew this would work. Look at the kitty. Oh, hello. I knew sitting on the ground would get these animals. Look, they're so close together. Wow. So there was this one seminary student that was her, I believe, second semester into seminary, and she had a, wonder, cat sneezes. But the seminary student was in her second semester. Smokey, sit down, sit down. Maybe this was a bad idea. Sit down. Seminary student was in her second semester, and she was still trying to learn about chaplaincy and all it was about, and is this where God had called her. And one of her classes was she had to go and go to different places and shadow different chaplains. So she went and shadowed a sports chaplain and a military, probably a military chaplain, who knows. Sit down, sit. Sports chaplain and a hospital chaplain and a couple of their variety of chaplains. Oh, I think like a police chaplain and all these different types of chaplains. And for class. So she, one day, let me rewind. One time there was a seminary student that it was her first semester in seminary, and she was also at the same time a counselor, and she was working towards her licensure, and she was working at this place up in North Georgia. And at that place she was doing a class about the ethics of counseling, and in that class she met somebody that was working as kind of the same thing she was, working towards licensure and working towards counseling. And she was at a hospital down in South Georgia. So talking with this individual, they realized that they were that other counselor was in the previous in the military, doing hospital, almost chaplaincy work, even though she was also working towards her counseling licensure, and just kind of made friends. Okay, so anyways, this was up in North Georgia. Sit down, sit down, sit down. So it's not working out well. Anyways. So then fast forward the next semester, and here's the same seminary student that needs to follow chaplains, and she's like, oh hey, I remember meeting a hospital chaplain that was all the way up in North Georgia for training, but lives all the way in South Georgia. I'm gonna call up that person. So this person calls up that person, and one whole day drives all the way to South Georgia to shadow this chaplain. So fast forward 2 years, 3 years, the seminary student has graduated and starts to learn about this thing called a CPE, which is Clinical Pastoral Education Unit. And lo and behold, there is a position open for a CPE unit at the same exact hospital that this seminarian went and shadowed at 3 years ago. How cool. Anyways, long story short, guess who that seminarian was? It was me. And coolest thing ever is I am now in a CPE unit at this same hospital where I did my kind of like a shadow hour. So cool how God worked all that together. Come here. Come here. Sit your booty down. Sit it down. Sit it down. I don't trust you. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Thank you. distractions. I shouldn't have sat on the floor. Anyways, so let me tell you the story about that. So I have been trying to pray for direction in my life and what God wanted for me, and I was really discouraged, as I told y'all last time, about going to this, really thinking I got this church job, and then them end up telling me that they just were not a fan of me being ordained, and that I did preaching every once in a while, and I was female. We're not okay with it. And that really hurt me a lot, and it took me, I still struggle with it a lot. We decided to switch churches because I didn't want to be limited in my being able to serve at that church because they didn't agree with what I did outside of the church. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. There we go, thank you. Give me a high five, thank you. Anyways. So we switched churches, and I started having these thoughts of, wow, I really thought that this was gonna work out. I was gonna work in this church, and it was gonna be great. And I really started having this thought that maybe I wasn't supposed to do full-time chaplaincy work. Well, I had to change locations because the doggo wouldn't stop going everywhere. Anyways, so back to where I was. But I was really struggling and didn't know. I really thought it was my time to be in full-time ministry, and it really hit me today just how divinely God had been planning out my life. And I tried really hard to not dictate what God wanted for my life just because one job didn't work out. So I just kept pursuing things, and I had always wanted to do a CPE unit, and lo and behold, Liberty, a couple weeks ago, was like, hey, we're offering a CPE unit for the spring semester. And I've never seen an email like that go out before, so I was super confused and looking into it. And lo and behold, I found that I can do my CPE unit at a local hospital. And that was the same hospital that I did that shadow day at. So I actually knew somebody was there. And that was just really cool to have that connection there. I had no idea that when I did that shadowing day, I had no idea that eventually I would be living in South Georgia or in the area of this hospital. No idea. So God had already started working that out. Super cool. And then I found out today that, well, what happened with that job is, with the hospital I'm working at, is I called them one day, and it was like, then 2 days later, I was in for an interview. They offered me the intern position on the spot, and we went from there. And that was 2 weeks before orientation started. Holy cow, that was amazing. And today they were telling me that it's the beginning of January. They're already interviewing for the summer semester. So I was like, that's crazy that I was able to get hired for this 2 weeks before it started. That just shows you just like how much God was in the works with all of this. And I had no idea about a CPE unit was available, nothing like that. The second I knew it was available, I started like hitting the ground running, trying to find sites and everything. And what happened was, unfortunately, one of their other interns actually had to back out, and that left a space open. And magically, I was able to fill that space up very quickly. And that just, I wanted to share that with y'all because that is so encouraging that however many years ago, when I came down to South Georgia for that one shadowing, what that opened up, and I met that person up in North Georgia, what that opened up for me. And that's just so cool. And I have been here for a week now doing orientation, and I have been so encouraged. I'm working actually with other interns that are working on their counseling degree, and so I'm a little bit of a different focus than they are, and they're all nervous and scared, and I'm like, y'all remind me of how I was a couple years ago, and now I'm just like, whatever, it's cool, I got this. But I just wanted to encourage y'all, because most of y'all are in this like tail end of your bachelor's degree or your very beginning of your master's degree. Just hold out. Like, just because you're not actively doing something in the chaplain world right now doesn't mean that that's what God hasn't called you to do. And even though orientation has been this week and we haven't really been doing like chaplain work, I've left the hospital just feeling so encouraged and so blessed. And I already have on my badge, it says Pastoral Care. And I'm just like, I get to walk around with a badge that represents something that says Pastoral on it. Like, how flippin' cool is that? So I just want to encourage y'all that a lot of y'all are nervous, or you feel like God's called you to do something, chaplaincy or ministry-wise, and you're just not acting in that role yet. It'll all make sense once you do start acting in that role. And you need that education as a backup. You need that education as a foundation to do what you're about to do. So I just want to real quick tell you a little bit what CPE is, because I had no idea what it was. So sorry about the noises. My dog is going crazy. I had no idea what a CPE unit was. He is crazy. Smokey Bear, what are you doing? Where's your ball at? Where's it at? Go get it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where's your ball at? Do you see it? Do you see it? Where'd it go? Get it. So silly. Let's get this focus back up on me. There we go. I had no idea what a CPE unit is. There we go. And it wasn't until recently, and I want to share it with y'all what it is, and so that y'all are like at the end of your degree, like I was, like, what the heck is this? So CPE, there's a 4 units that you could actually do. So when you're thinking about a school-wise, that's 4 semesters that you could do, I believe. And essentially what it is it's getting you, it's usually in a hospital, it's getting you familiar with the clinical counseling side. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of my information with CPE is very like, I don't know a whole lot about it, and I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot more because I just started, but it looks really well on you to do CPE if you wanna go in the military, if you wanna be a hospital chaplain, you have to have at least 1 unit of CPE. It just helps you be self-aware and kind of go over different techniques when you're talking to patients or clients. And so I highly encourage y'all to look up what a CPE unit is. If you can take one now, it would be like almost like a full-time job or a part-time job. You're looking at 23 hours a week. Try to do that now, get those knocked out. If you could do like 4 units of CPE while you're in school, holy cow, that would be amazing. Don't do what I've done. I tried to look for CPE stuff, it just didn't seem to work out with like jobs and everything. But I've had friends that they actually did their CPE while they're in school. So doing it after school like me, so I've already graduated and now I'm doing CPE, it's kind of like weird a little bit because I'm an intern, but I've already graduated and I'm about to be licensed, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. And actually sometimes like the VA or the military will actually pay you like around $20,000 to go live somewhere and be doing 4 units of CPE. So sometimes you can get that stuff worked out. But anyways, look into that, see what it's all about, see if you can do it now, and then you can't say you have no idea what it was because you're watching this video and I'm telling you what a CPE is. Anyways, I gotta go find my dog. I talked really fast and I know there's a lot of distractions of my animals. I thought it'd be fun, and that's not. It was, well, it's kind of fun, but it was just highly distracting. Come here. Where are you? What are you doing? I'm amazed that the puppers hasn't thrown up anything because he ate something suspicious today. So I'm glad to see he's fine. But yeah, so there's that. And then the last thing I want to say is if you have exciting news, if you have triumphs, or if you have a trial going on in life, I encourage you to share it with the rest of the community that's on here. I've had some of y'all that have actually said your oath to go into the military. Some of y'all have graduated from your Master's of Divinity. Some of y'all have graduated from your bachelor's. Some of y'all have decided what type of chaplaincy you want to go into. That is so exciting and so encouraging for this community, and I promise y'all that even if there's a lot more of y'all talking to me on kind of like on Instagram than there is on the comment section. And there's so many good things that y'all tell me that I know everybody else will benefit from. So share those joys with everybody. That's so encouraging to hear, because you just don't know what encouragement that could be for somebody else. So anyways, yeah, that sounds fun. And then, because I don't want to be revealing people's lives that y'all tell me in confidence if you've had a triumph even, because I think that's your story to tell. So if you just go ahead and do it in the comments, or if you tell me like, hey, I would love for you to share this or something like that, or anything like that, that'd be awesome. Again, we're all in this together. We all want to serve people. We all want to help people. And why not help each other first? And good self-care is having a good support system. So anyways, keep y'all updated with how the CPE is going. I'm super excited, super blessed. Also for all my Liberty fans, we will be heading up there in the next couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about. I've never been to Liberty before. So anybody that's in the area, give me a shout out. Thanks for coming by. Let me know how I can pray for y'all. Please pray for me that I am able to be steady in the hospital, because crazy stuff happens and I'm not used to that. So that I can be a steady, calm presence. I love y'all. Let me know what's going on with your lives. Thank you so much for being part of this channel. And this as always, this has gone a lot longer than planned. I'll see you later.